This is the
Two Geeks and a Nerd freestyle show, y'all. I am Debonair Donnell, your co-host.
I'm Black Samurai, your other co-host, and this is...
I am the star of the day.
Yes.
Well, I can say that after take two. For take one, I was on some old, yes, my name is Kit. But after take two, we done got warmed up and we in here. But I am Kit Grimes. I am the makeup artist working with these wonderful gentlemen for a project that they have coming up currently.
So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to ask Kit to reiterate.
Yes. What she does, she's going to break down how she does it, her experiences, and the project she's going to be working on is our upcoming short film, Heroes, the Guy Prince, and a Love Story, and I'm sure some other things we're about to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, I am a makeup artist local to the Charlotte area, Charlotte, North Carolina. And I do travel, so if you need me, let me know. But I actually specialize in glam and beauty makeup, special effects or SFX makeup, and work for TV, print, and film. So basically, I've been a professional makeup artist for about 4 years. I've been doing makeup for as long as I could hold eyeliner. And what I basically do is work with different individuals, different companies, different group shots, photographers, and I really just create some really pretty and really kind of cool things. Beauty and the glam makeup, I know I expound on that before. I'm trying to remind myself what I did before. But so the difference is so with glam and beauty makeup, that's going to be your makeup that you don't necessarily wear every day. It's going to be more event style makeup. It's going to be, you know, if you think about a runway, if you think about even with, because the young people today, they do a lot of makeup. I didn't wear that much makeup on
Look, my wife takes about an hour and a half, like, I don't care what's going on.
High school, dude.
Oh yeah, they well yeah. She just got out of high
creasing
school.
their lives.
I'm telling you, they do.
They are cut creasing their
She's not
lives
that
away.
young, though.
But yeah, I'm about to say we're not cradle robbing. This is all legal. But basically, you know, it's gonna be something that's for an event. It's not gonna be your everyday.
Also,
and it's, you know.
So, because you just made me, because you just made me ask. So when you say it's not for an everyday, like, what makes it, like, what's the difference from, is there a difference, like, in the way you put on the eyeshadow, I think it's called contour, the lipstick?
Okay. What he knows terms, y'all.
Hey, I know you mean they be beating their faces.
So what is...
Baking? I know about baking, okay? I bought my wife a vanity mirror. Literally, I want her to teach me how to do makeup in case, like, because I'm an artist. I know it's art, and a lot of people don't understand that paintbrushes, the first paintbrushes were makeup brushes.
First things first, let me help kill some things for you. Men are really a lot of the revolutionaries behind makeup, you know.
I believe it.
In theater, before women could actually act, all of the actors were men, and they had to play women and men, and they all wore wigs and heels and makeup. You know, the way that we look at things in society as far as like what's acceptable for, you know, who and what is more based on our personal feelings and how we've been kind of programmed behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a societal thing. It's definitely an American thing, because if you go to different countries, you know, a lot of things that are definitely taboo for us here aren't there. So, you know, it's just one of those slopes. But the difference is, just to answer your question, so the difference in between more glam and, you know, beauty look versus your everyday, it's going to be, for one, the application type, the colors that might be used. So if you have, like, you would use more like smoky colors for a glam look. You would use colors that basically accentuate more, make things pop. Whereas an everyday look, it might be something just basic to give you more of a clean face, so you don't necessarily, you know, contour, as you were saying. You know, you don't necessarily contour, you don't necessarily have to highlight, you don't necessarily have to do all of the shebang with it, if you will.
Just a touch up, I guess.
Yeah, you know, hey, grab a sponge, you know, throw a little light love on your face, throw some mascara so you don't look like a big, you know, a bald bird, as I like to say, and, you know, throw on some lips and you kind of go. So that's where, that comes in. Also, just dealing with makeup for TV, film, and print. The mediums are different. So I was telling you guys before that it all depends on what you use and how you apply it, because we were saying titanium oxide, that's used in a lot of makeup. It actually is what can cause the flashback, because the powders and zinc, it actually reacts back to the flashlights. So, when you hear people like, oh, what powder do you use to prevent flashback? It's not necessarily the powder's fault. It's the flash itself because of what's in it. So you have to know when to use and what to use. And so I try to do that through, teaching other people beauty education and making sure they understand, that it's a doable thing. You don't have to, always call me. I will definitely teach you. I'm all about teaching people to fish, because this fish might not be around one day. You might need to still get yourself together.
Look, thinking about the titanium oxide, this is a moment of random, what we call it, because I'm thinking scientifically again.
Makeup is science.
Titanium, of course, is a metal. Oxide means to oxidize, so it's like rusted titanium. And I'm thinking like, okay, maybe like you said with the flashes and stuff, because it's a light onto metal flash,
and that's exactly
that's why it's the offset. So
basically, like you said, titanium oxide, it basically just oxidizes and changes. So as it hits, almost like when some foundations oxidize. So you'll notice that it's one color in the bottle, but then once you put it on your face, after 5 minutes of air hitting it and it oxidizing, it will actually change color. Same thing when you have the titanium oxide in makeup. It will actually, the light from the flash actually bounces and reflects, and it bounces back to the film, which is why when you have some of those pictures, you see people what we call casket sharp.
I gotta find out.
That's also
casket sharp.
Casket sharp. You ever see people when some people make up
casket sharp. Yeah.
When they laying and they about to go meet their daily party, and
he look like himself.
Yeah.
You know what they say? She look like herself.
That's when it's done right. But then you see some of them that they look a little gray.
Like, and the old people know.
She didn't look like that. She would have never did her face like that. That ain't proper. So yes, it all definitely matters. People fail to realize that makeup really is a science.
It is. It's a science.
And that color wheel. Yes, that color wheel saves lives. Like if you ever have an issue, tip number 1, people. I'm gonna put it out there for you guys on the Two Geeks and a Nerd show. If what was
the color wheel?
Yes, the color wheel. Make sure that the color wheel is your friend, because it will save your life. Okay? Don't be out here just saying, I'm going to throw something on, whether it's hair dye, because I actually do custom coloring for hair as well. And again, it's all science. So whether it's hair color, whether it's makeup, it doesn't matter. Make sure you use your color wheel. If you've got something that's orange and you need to cancel it out, and it may not look right that it says use something green, it matters. It will cancel out. It will make your life better. So
I needed you the other night. I was trying to blend some stuff for our shoot on Sunday, and so of course I go to my wife because she's a painter, and she had her other color wheel. But I was like, all right, I know I need to make this orange or red or color. She's like, well, add the yellow. Oh, I need to lighten it up.
All color wheels are the same.
It's the same. I was going to ask you that. So no matter what, I can use this color wheel.
We use the same color wheels. The good old painters.
Wow.
We don't.
I thought they had a special one.
We ain't special. We use a good old regular. Go to the art store, Michael's and Hobby Lobby. Know me by name. It's sad, but I live there. And
that's a good thing. They look out for you.
Oh,
when they know you.
Honey, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I done saved so much money. That's a whole nother show. But I will say, definitely,
So what makes it a science for people who are like, makeup ain't no science? What makes it a science?
Okay, so I think where people fail to realize is that everything is science, right? Say that. You know what I'm saying? When you cook, if you think about it in the terms of cooking, right? When you're making a souffle, or if you're making something that has certain agents for leavening, or agents to make, you need yeast to make things rise. You need a certain cornstarch to leaven something out. If you don't cook it at the right temperature, it won't rise. If you open the door too soon before it gets that rise and that crust, it'll never rise. It's all about, it's the same thing with makeup. If you are oily and you know you're not using a moisturizer, but you notice your skin is still oily, that's because your body is actually working harder to produce, you know, that sebum in that in your glands to moisturize your face. So people, biggest misconception, oh, I have oily face, I don't put on moisturizer. No, you put on moisturizer even if you have an oily face. It's about a proper skin routine. So if you have a proper facial wash that's designed for, you know, oily and oil prone skin, and you follow that up with a good astringent or a toner, and then follow that up with a good moisturizer, you can actually combat your skin and your body from constantly making this extra oil, causing you to be oily, have breakouts and everything. So it's definitely a science, and you know, to me it's one of those things where it's like, to know those parts of makeup are more important than actually knowing application parts of makeup, because I can, you know, if you understand that, okay, I know if I use this and this, I can mix these two things and I'm going to get this really great color, and I can do that. Or like even today I was showing my assistant, I actually used an airbrush today, and I was showing her how to like back bubble, and to understand, like, you know, if you mix these two colors you'll get this kind of medium, you mix this you get this kind of finish, you know, if you mix a matte and a sheen you get a satin finish, you know, and that's just a different finish of foundation. You got, you know, you got some that has like that very skin finished dewy look, as we like to call it, you know, you have some that has more like, if you look at a piece of satin, has kind of like almost smoothed over and kind of like, you know, almost what I call like almost unnatural, like, because it's just so porcelain.
It's
like
too,
it's
too
almost
smooth.
perfect.
Yeah,
you know,
it is,
you've got that. Then you've got some where you don't, where you just like a flat canvas. And you know, I know some people that's very popular right now, where, you know, if your face is like really flat, you know, like, and it's just like what I call like my, and please don't take offense to this, but my Instagram faces. Some of my girls are very, you don't really see the face, and to me skin is so much more important. Like what you do, like your skin is like your foundation before your foundation. So to me it's definitely 10 times more important than when you put the makeup on. But makeup is a thing now. It's like this huge thing. So you look and you see, all you see is makeup. You don't see the person anymore. And I try to really focus on enhancing the person that's there, because when you do that, not only do they feel more confident, because it's not about you, right? It's about the feeling that you embody on someone else. They feel more confident. You give them this really unreal like belief about themselves, and they can conquer anything. And when you have that feeling about yourself, it just it resonates differently to everybody. So all of those things matter, you know, and I'm proud of that.
Thank you for that, because like, one thing that makes me glad I'm not in the dating game right now is when I see these videos of these, like, when these the girls will be like this, and then they do the little thing like that, and it's like their real face. I'm like,
when they be like this.
Yeah, they pull it up, or they have their hand here, and they pull it back, and their forehead is back. It's like, yo, what did you do? Do not lie to people. Keep it natural as possible.
I will say, yeah.
I mean, I get it. I know people want to feel good. I understand.
No, but that's where you have the difference in between an actual artist and someone who will consider themselves an artist because they're really great at how they do their own face, right? I can beat my face down to Jesus Christmas himself, right? But I'm a bum 90% of the time. I hate that, right? Because single mom life, like, I need to be out dating and doing stuff in life. But, you know, I like making other people up. I like photo shoots. I like really being behind the scenes and really, you know, helping people to look like the best them versus looking like this picture. Or another thing I notice with people who are makeup artists these days is I'll see makeup done that they've done, and the makeup is clean, and it's really nice. But the person looks like the artist and not the person.
Oh, I got you.
And so it's like a bunch of little mini-me's running around versus them looking at, you know, it's a lot. You look at facial structures, you look at, you know, features, you look at, you know, nose shapes, you look at, eye shapes, you look at spacing, you look at, do you have hooded lids? Do you have, big, one of my girlfriends, like, she was like, yeah, blastophilia was something like the scientific word for eyes or something, like eyelids or something. Like, oh my God, I was like, my who? Like, I'm still English in here, I understand we got our scientific terms because I'm definitely a sciencey girl.
Yeah.
But I was just like, when you think about that, right? I even taught I did a video course, and I'm actually getting ready to reshoot it because everybody's like, can you do a recap on it? But basically, like, the 7 different nose shapes. People don't think about when you have someone who has a very pronounced bridge, how to use makeup to take away from that bridge versus making them feel like, oh, well, your nose is big, we can't do nothing,
And it's amazing. That's what I love about the makeup, is how, like, we were talking about contouring and stuff earlier. My wife, explains it to me because I watch. I'm like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Because you do a dot here, dot there, and one right here, then you blend it all together and you get what you get. And she was like, yeah, I want to make my cheeks look fuller, or I want to make my nose look smaller right here.
Highlighting.
And the way she does it, it works out. And I'm still like, okay, so I got another girlfriend. Is where I look at it. I get different girlfriends.
Honey, if she knows what she's doing, she'd be somebody new every day.
I'm telling you.
You looking for Sasha, baby? Give me 10 minutes, Sasha. Be up.
You know what I'm saying?
But no. But no, it's definitely a science to it. Like when, like you said, oh, she... everybody has their application process, right? I hate when I see, like, because, and a lot of the times when the people are doing all these different dots and stuff, you don't really have to do the dots. They're doing that because they're shooting videos and it's like interesting. They're like, ooh, I'm getting it in, But basically, even down to lighting, like when people think about makeup, you should really think about it like canvas work, like art. Like when you notice someone is drawing something on a canvas and they go and they start actually painting it, like the different shading techniques that they use, you'll notice that under a chin they might go super 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 heavy dark, right? But then on a cheekbone they might shade it in and then use like an erasing medium to lighten it out, to like soften it. Because basically what they've done is that they've created this shadow here so that you don't really see like that part of the neck, but then they've added light to the cheek, which highlights. So if you think about, highlighting and contouring in definition is basically you highlight things you want to accent.
Yeah, you're drawing the eye to the cheeks.
You want to draw the eyes to them.
And hiding everything
and you
else.
hide everything else. So like you got a client that's got one chin or one neck too many. You bust out your contour and
so if
you work your magic, and then now where there was two, where's one of each?
So if you a dude and got like razor bumps, you know how to cover that up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We've got, even down to like if we have to make a beard a different color, like if we have to gray out someone's beard, or someone's beard is grayed out and I need to make it, darker. Guys with eyebrows, like let's say you've got like extra eyebrows, but they need them to be like, more defined, and you're like, please don't pluck my eyebrows out for my life. Instead of plucking your eyebrows out, I would go and get one of my different products or mediums and
hide it.
And basically shade and basically make it seem like your eyebrows disappear.
That's
so,
crazy.
I am a wizard.
Sound like you know what you're talking about, because that was a lot.
I do abracadabra around here every so often.
I need to figure out how to make makeup last, because my wife was like I'm sure you heard of it, Unique. She was a rep for them, and was was doing pretty well in it, and we had we invested all this money, yada yada yada. Then one day I see her like throwing bottles of makeup away. She's like, "Oh, that ain't no good." I'm like, "Yo, if you don't shake that up," she's like, "Oh, that's no good. It's expired." I was like, "What? Makeup expired?"
Makeup expires.
So don't go too expensive unless you just want
to. Expires, okay? Like, for all of my enthusiasts out there, I know YouTube and Instagram makes it almost impossible for you guys to like live your best life, okay? They are, oh, you gotta try the new palette. Oh, you've gotta get this new foundation. Oh, this foundation does this that nobody else does, even though they all do it. You have to understand that it's sales and it's marketing and it's gimmicks and these Instagram and YouTubers, they're influencers, they get PR packages, they get products to promote, review, and do all of these different things. If that's something that you are destined and you want to do, that's amazing and that's great. But please understand that you gotta know about makeup. Makeup expires. As a matter of fact, I should have bought. I didn't even think to bring like a little thing with me, right? Because I'm slow. But I'm living my best life. Anywho,
Part 2.
Right.
I was gonna say.
So, but makeup actually does expire. And just to give you guys another tip too. Well, I think tip 1 was on the first one, was it? No, it was on this one. Hey, tip 2. So we had some technical difficulties earlier, so don't mind us. But when you look on makeup, you will actually see, whether it's on the box, bottle, container, whatever it is, you will see a little replica of that container with like an open lid, right? And you'll see a number and you'll see a letter. You might see the number 1 and the letter Y. You might see the number 6 and the letter M. That is actually your expiration. It won't tell you an expiration date because, they just don't do that, right? Because God forbid that's.
And that's just from the time it opens.
It's from the time you open it. So once it's open and it's been used and exposed to air and all these other little elements, you look and you check and see what that says. If that says 6M, that means you have 6 months to use it. Do people use makeup longer? Yes, they do. I know people who use makeup forever. Now keep in mind, found like palettes and things like that. You're good for the duration, right? It's powder, it's locked in, it's not going anywhere. You're good. When it comes to foundations and things like that, you definitely want to be careful because, again, you're dealing with chemicals. And if you read on the back of a bottle, you're not seeing anything that says wheatgrass and germ root and no, you're reading stuff that says citrine, tizolium, and all these other words that I'd have to see. I'm like phosphorus, something, phospholipol or something like that. Whereas all of those different combinations of things make your foundation. So when you are dealing with foundations, especially when you're dealing with clients, when we're dealing, let's just cut the B, right? When you're dealing with yourself, you're very much more lax, right? You something in your tooth, you might leave it there if you ain't got nobody coming around. Just little things that you don't really think about. It's like, I'll get that later. But as soon as someone's eyeballs is on, all of a sudden you want to snap too. When it comes to makeup for a client, my biggest suggestion is always make sure that you're checking your expiration dates. Always make sure that, and then also make sure you're not overbuying, because you'll buy this stuff and then you'll try it and then you might move on to something else that you like and try it. But if you're using this product at this time and this product at this time and this product at this time, all of a sudden your expiration dates are popping up. And if you're using this for a client, to prevent yourself from any type of liability, any suits or anything like that, you want to make sure that you are using the most up-to-date and the best makeup that you can, and you definitely want to discard of it if it's out of date. Foundations, mascaras, lipsticks, especially liquid lipsticks, regular lipsticks as well, but especially liquid lipsticks. You just want to make sure that, especially if you're using it for a client, that you check expiration dates and stick accordingly.
So label your stuff. I
label everything.
Label the date, please.
Because you got to think, guys, bottles and containers and all this other stuff. My kit would be 500 pounds, and that's just not feasible. Especially since I travel. If I got to fly to New York for a class, or if I'm a part of a production, I can't, have a 500-pound bag following me through the airport. So, invest and get small containers. What I do is I depot my lipsticks. I actually take all of my lipstick tubes and I actually create lipstick palettes in like about a square about this. They're called view sets. If you look it up, VUESET. I know people always ask. So if you look up a view set, you'll actually be able to see, what it is. And I actually put my makeup in there, and then I just label it so people know exactly what I'm using. There's no question, I don't use that brand. And you don't know what you're talking about. So yeah.
So since you talked about traveling and clients and all
Yes.
this, so how have you been getting these clients and doing all this travel?
So I promote myself like a mother. I really have. I actually hired an assistant recently who is, she's my sorority sister, but she's an amazing boss. That little heifer won't let me do nothing. I can't breathe right. I can't even get an episode of Dr. Phil in, y'all. I can't do nothing, man. But she keeps it on point. So, a part of my building and my beauty brand is I actually help people around the business as well. Because a lot of people only see the art side of the business. They don't realize there's speaking engagements. They don't realize there's classes that's taught. They don't realize there are beauty workshops that are held. And when I'm working with all of these other clients, they either have seen my work, they've either gotten word of mouth about my work, and as far as like the promotions and the clients, I actually reach out to either different agencies or I am sending letters in regards like for PR packaging, like, hey, I've got this beauty retreat going on, you know, one of the main things, and I always try to find something. Another good tip, if you are looking to get any type of product or any type of, you know, anything from these companies, make sure that you do your due diligence. Anytime I write my proposal letters out, case in point, I have a proposal letter going to L'Oreal for some PR work and, you know, getting in with their agencies that they work with for different marketing ads, right? One of my letters, because I do them separately, so my PR letter is different from my actual client when I work with them in the agency letter. And in that PR letter, I let them know. So remember, I told you guys that I actually do custom hair coloring as well. And Pulp Riot, which is an amazing color brand, because they kind of know, but I do bright colors, right? I don't look at my demeanor right now. This grayed out ass shirt and my little kind of blonde hair.
Instagram, which is
Body and Beauty by Kit. That's body, the letter N, beauty _ Kit. So you guys can come and check it out. IG, baby. But so Pulp Riot is a really, really amazing hair brand. They customize in really potent color dyes and direct pigments. And recently L'Oreal just picked them up and actually bought them. So now Pulp Riot is a part of the L'Oreal brand. A lot of people don't realize how many brands are umbrellaed under L'Oreal. You know, so even if I get with L'Oreal, the bigger umbrella, I'm still looking at L'Oreal Paris, L'Oreal New York, Mazzani, Carates. Like, there's so many, you know, under this umbrella that you just would not know. So it does pay to do your due diligence and your research. So that's a couple of things.
That's dope. That's real dope.
Yeah.
so